online biology class. I hope all of you have finished all the work related to the previous chapter and you have finished studying all the topics and you are clear with all the points given in that chapter. If at all you have any doubts regarding the chapter or any topic or any question answer, you may please ask me during the meeting. Today we are going to start the new chapter, that is, how do organisms reproduce. So the first chapter we studied about basic life processes like nutrition, respiration, transportation and excretion. Next chapter we discussed about control and coordination in organisms. This chapter we are going to discuss yet another important process of living organism, that is reproduction. Before going to the detailed study of this chapter, let me ask you something. What is reproduction? Why should an organism reproduce? Have you ever thought? To produce an organism, what is reproduction? It is a process of producing one's own kind, or it is a process of producing one's offspring. Just think, if an organism has to reproduce, a lot of energy is needed because the same type of organism should be formed. So a lot of energy is used for this process, isn't it? Even if an organism does not reproduce, it does not affect the person or that organism's life. Reproduction is not essential for that particular organism to survive, or the particular organism may not die if it does not reproduce. Hope you understood. Like nutrition, respiration, etc. This reproduction is not an essential process for an organism to survive, isn't it? So in that case, have you ever thought, why should that organism use lot of energy or waste this energy for reproducing? Have you thought? Most of you would not have thought about that. But reproduction is essential because it is through reproduction that we are able to sustain that particular species. So for the sustenance of a particular species, for the existence of a particular species, reproduction is essential. Reproduction gives rise to new variations, and this accumulation of variations may give rise to evolution. Hope the point is clear to you. Reproduction, it is a process of producing one's own kind. Though a lot of energy is needed for reproduction, and this reproduction is not essential for an organism to exist or be alive, but still it is very important for the existence of a particular species. Just imagine if only one organism of a particular species is surviving, or only one human being is surviving. Just imagine. And if that human being is not reproducing its own kind, after that particular human being died, will there be any more human being of that human being existing on this earth? Definitely no. Now you would have understood the importance of reproduction. So it is through reproduction that an organism exists, or a particular species exists on earth. Second, reproduction gives rise to variations. These variations are very important because accumulation of variations give rise to evolution. So in this chapter, we will be discussing about reproduction in plants and also in human beings. So next, when we tell about reproduction, if an organism is giving rise to its own kind, it should be similar to that organism. If a cat is giving rise to kitten, just imagine, kitten is similar to the cat. Human baby is similar to the parent, human being. Each one is different. The variations are there among the organism, among the species, same species. But still, we can identify that that particular organism is a cat or a dog or a kid or what is a human being. Is that clear? So here, when an organism is ready to reproduce, all the reproduced organism, the offspring of that particular organism should be it will be similar to the parent. So before reproducing, in the cell, what is the information source of, or which is what in our body transfers characters from one generation to another? Recall. It is the DNA, segments of DNA in the chromosome, which is called as genes. Genes are segments of DNA. So, if an organism is reproduced, if the baby is born or produced, it should have the similar characters of the parent. So, how is it formed? We cannot just push one set of chromosome to the offspring. There should be some processes by which the characters are transferred from the parent cell to the offspring, newly formed organism. So, the blueprints of all these characters should be formed in the initial stage. So, the basic level when you say about reproduction is the preparation for the blueprints of the DNA. Is it clear? So, first basic process or the basic level before reproducing is the copying of DNA, making the blueprints of the DNA. DNA copying.
In this figure, you can see the double-stranded structure of the DNA molecule. The second figure shows the separate strands of the DNA molecule. The third one shows the formation of new strands, that is synthesizing of the new strand. Blue color is the original strand and the pink color denotes the replicated copy. It is synthesized by the help of proteins in the cell. Proteins help in the formation of nucleic acid. Actually, DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid. The last one, you can clearly see that two new daughter DNA molecule is formed. Pink color is the new daughter DNA molecule and the blue color is the original one. So, the pink color or the new DNA molecule is similar to the parent one. So, this is the replicated copy. Which one is the replicated copy? Pink one is the replicated copy of the DNA molecule of the original one. So, this is how the blueprint is prepared. This is called as DNA replication or copying of DNA.
Reproduction is of two types, asexual and sexual. Asexual reproduction involves one parent. New offspring is produced from a single parent. As a result, variations will be less. In sexual reproduction, two parents are involved in producing an offspring. As a result of this involvement of two parents, automatically what will happen? The variations will be more compared to asexual reproduction. In this chapter, first we will be learning about different methods of asexual reproduction and then about sexual reproduction in flowers and also in sexual reproduction in plants and also in human beings. As you attend the class, please take down the diagram and the points related to the topic. The different methods of asexual reproduction are fission, budding, fragmentation, regeneration, spore formation and vegetative propagation. Different methods of asexual reproduction which we will be discussing in this chapter are fission, fragmentation, budding, regeneration, spore formation and vegetative propagation. 6 types of asexual reproduction, 6 methods of asexual reproduction. Today I will be discussing only the first three methods, that is fission, budding and fragmentation. So after the class is over, after you attend the class, please draw the diagram of each and you can write a heading fission. Explain that. Draw the diagram. Next, go to budding. Draw the diagram. Explain. Like that, one by one, you can draw the diagram and explain the methods of reproduction. After that, you can write the questions which is coming from that particular topics. Now, shall we go to the asexual mode of reproduction? Yes. Asexual mode of reproduction, the first method is fission. Fission is a process of asexual reproduction in which an organism divides into two or more cells. This fission is a method of reproduction which takes place only in unicellular organisms. So, this fission, depending upon whether two cells are formed or more than two cells are formed. Fission is a method of reproduction in which a single cell divides into two or more cells. If an organism divides into two, it is called as binary fission. And if it divides into more than two, we call it as multiple fission. So, first method of asexual reproduction is fission. Fission is of two types. Which are they? Binary fission and multiple fission. Binary fission, two cells are formed. Multiple fission, as the word indicates, more than two cells are formed.
Please draw the diagram and take down the notes as you see the slide. The first method of asexual reproduction is fission. It is a method in which the parent undergoes division to form two or more individuals. It occurs only in unicellular organisms. This fission consists of two steps. What are they? First, division of nucleus, and second, division of cytoplasm. The two types of fission are binary fission and multiple fission. First, binary fission. In binary fission, the organism divides into two similar individuals. Two means bi. In binary fission, nucleus first elongates and then divides into two. This nuclear division is followed by the division of cytoplasm. As a result, two daughter cells are formed. For example, in Euglena, Leishmania, Paramecium, amoeba, bacteria, etc., binary fission will take place. Euglena is an organism which has got a whip-like structure, which is called as flagella. So, in Euglena, even in Leishmania, there is a flagella-like structure, whip-like structure. So, in these both organisms, binary fission takes place only in a single plane. That means only in one direction. So that two daughter cells which are formed are similar to the parent cell. Next is, and this one more thing, binary fission occurs only during unfavorable, it occurs under favorable conditions. That is a normal method of reproduction in these organisms. Multiple fission. Second method is multiple fission. In multiple fission, the parent cell divides and splits internally to form a number of daughter individuals. So how is this happening? In this multiple fission, first the nucleus will divide into many, repeatedly it divides and form a number of daughter nuclei. Next, each daughter nuclei is surrounded by few little cytoplasm and it forms daughter cells. First, nucleus divides. Each nucleus is surrounded by a bit of cytoplasm, and then when parent cell mature, the cell will burst and releases the daughter cells. For example, Plasmodium, amoeba, etc. These organisms will divide uses this method of reproduction during unfavorable conditions. This will be clear to you when you watch this video. Amoeba reproduces by the method of asexual reproduction. Binary fission is a type of asexual reproduction in which the fully grown parent cell splits into two halves, producing two new daughter cells. First, amoeba withdraws its pseudopodia and becomes oval in shape. Then the nucleus elongates and a small constriction appears in the nucleus and divides into two. And this nucleus moves to the opposite poles. Now a small constriction appears in the cytoplasm which divides the cell into two, and as a result, two daughter cells are formed. These two daughter cells are similar to the parent.
Second method of asexual reproduction is budding. In budding takes place in unicellular and multicellular organism. Already in 7th standard you have learned about budding in yeast. Do you remember? Yes. Yeast is a unicellular fungi. And budding is the mode of reproduction that is taking place in yeast cell. This year we are going to learn about budding in hydra. Hydra is a multicellular organism. So in hydra, budding, the mode of reproduction may be through budding or regeneration. It can reproduce in both the methods. Now we can learn how budding takes place in hydra.
Next method of asexual reproduction which we are discussing is budding. In this, one or more outgrowths, that is the bud, develop from the body of an organism which then separate to form new individuals. For example, it takes place in hydra. It is a multicellular organism. Hydra. Hydra is a multicellular sedentary freshwater organism. It has a tubular structure with a basal part for attaching to the substratum, and the top part has tentacles with a mouth in the center. This hydra reproduces by the method of budding. During reproduction, a small bud appears the side of the body by multiple division. This bud grows and then detaches itself from the parent body. This bud separates and grows into a new individual. At times, they may be attached to the parent body itself and forms a colony. Here you can see the hydra is getting detached.
The third method of asexual reproduction which we are going to discuss next is fragmentation. Fragmentation is a familiar term for you. You have already learned in 7th standard. Though you would have forgotten, I am sure that you will be able to recall it when I start explaining it. Fragmentation is a method of reproduction which usually takes place in algae. Example, Spirogyra. Spirogyra term is familiar because last year you have learned in diversity living organisms. Not diversity, I think plant kingdom. Spirogyra is a filamentous algae. This algae reproduces through fragmentation on maturity. That is, when the organism reaches maturity, it breaks up into fragments, pieces. Each piece will grow into a new organism. So, within a short period of time, this algae will spread over a large area.
The third type of asexual reproduction which we discussed today was fragmentation. Let us see what happens in fragmentation. It is the process of breaking up of the body of an organism into two or more parts. What are these parts called? Fragments on maturation. So when the organism matures, the body breaks up into two or more parts which are called as fragments. Each of these fragments will grow into a new individual. For example, I have already told you that it takes place in algae. For example, Spirogyra, which is a filamentous algae. So within a short period of time, through fragmentation, this algae can reproduce fast and spread over a large area. Fragmentation. Have you seen green color patches in the pond? These green color patches are algae. Algae usually reproduces through fragmentation. On maturation, algae, for example Spirogyra, breaks up into fragments. Each fragment develops into a new individual.
So today we have discussed 4 things. First, what is the basic event of reproduction. What is it? DNA copy. It is the basic event for the production of new organism, and DNA copying is taking place through chemical reactions. Second, we discussed about the different methods of three methods of asexual reproduction, that is fission, fragmentation and budding. Hope the topics are clear because the proper videos were shown for each reproduction. So from the video, I am sure that all of you would have understood these three methods of reproduction and the DNA copy. So complete all your work related to this topic, and when you attend the next class, you must be thorough with this topic. Please draw and explain each methods of reproduction. Drawing is very important. Labeling is also very important. So draw the diagram, label it, and also explain each methods of reproduction in a neat and tidy manner. I should not see any scribbling work. It should be neatly maintained. Notebook should be neatly maintained. Thank you.